Hi everyone, welcome to Yin. Namaste. This is Joy Yoga. I am Gethin Christine Morris. You can please learn more about me on my website, joyyoga.love, one Y. And today we're going to do a Yin class. I say it like that because some of the poses are a little non-traditional, yet still in alignment with the philosophy laid down by Bernie Clark and from the East. And please have a couple blocks and a strap. And let us begin. I'm excited. We're going to have some vagus nerve stimulation, some deep opening in the hip sockets and hip flexors in the sacrum, as well as some lengthening in the psoas. And it's going to be wonderful and lovely. As always, please practice Yin cold, not coming straight from cardio or a power vinyasa. You can do that hours after you do this class, or have Yin at night, have a wonderful restful sleep, and then do your cardio in the morning. So why don't we come to, I like doing, is it teapot? I like that I always question the things, some of the poses that I'm saying, and where are the people to correct me? Anyways, when I've been in classes, it's been known as teapot, but I'm sure it's another like toe stand sit thing. Anyways, curl your toes under and have your hips to your heels. As always, a very straight spine. You can practice rolling your shoulders, shrugging them really far up to the ears, and then rolling them down. Up to the ears. Where'd my neck go? Rolling them down. Oh, there it is. If this gets too intense, always have a block nearby if you'd like, and you can place it on top of your feet. Oh, that gives more sensation. So anyways, if it gets more intense, maybe come to the tops of your feet. Yeah, that's nice. And then you can sit with a block in between your hips and heels, or just all the way down. There you go. And if you would like some more support for the knees, feel free to use a blanket that's rolled. And then we're going to come into our center, squeezing the shoulder blades slightly together in the back, feeling this flow forwards, spiraling out, and backwards, spiraling out in our heart chakra and in our thymus chakra or thymus gland. Gently press the pads of your fingertips together and bring your hands gently apart as the bottom of the palms and the outsides of the palms connect. And feel that energy spiraling from your heart chakra, soaring through your hands. If you blow into your hands, you'll be able to feel the energy. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth into your hands. Deep breath in through the nose a few times. One more time. Our heart chakra is air. It is the beautiful earthly element of air, wind, breath, spirit, song. As we connect through this very, I almost said restorative. It is in a way, but it is not restorative yoga. So I will, not to confuse the two, say it's a very reparational, is that a word? It's a very healing practice we are about to embark on, and we are going to continue to weave the shamanic techniques, picking up on the subtleties of energy, as we really heal deeply, even more clarity and awareness than Yin already offers in our joints, in our cold plastic tissues of the body, in the joint capsules, and the very dense bone structures that are very hard to move, that keep all of us together. We're connecting in that space. We're connecting in the yin, in the feminine, in the moon. Does the Sankalpa surface for you? What's your intention for this practice? You can begin a subtle Ujjayi breath, not to produce too much heat in the body, but to carry intention with that oceanic breathing, soft. Imagine the sun is setting on the ocean and the waves are relaxing after a big day of work, of crashing and swelling and ebbing and flowing. And now they're just very relaxed. That is the energy your breath will imitate with a gentle Ujjayi breath. Slight constriction in the back of the throat. And gentle inhalations and exhalations through the nose. Because this is a receptive yin class, I'm going to invite you to take that intention internally. And I won't even really offer any except this space. I'm just going to offer the space to have your own intention, even if it's, I'm going to pay attention to my breathing as best I can throughout the whole class. Okay, I offered one, but this is for you and your internal receptive void. Lower the hands. We're going to do a little bit of alternative breathing. Nadi Shodhana. Bring the right thumb to the outside of the right nostril, the first two fingers on the third eye. Take a deep breath in through the left nostril. Close the left with the third and, ring and pinky, fourth and fifth fingers. Exhale right. Gentle Ujjayi breath. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. On your own. Last round. Release the hands. Wonderful. Definitely settles both the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, and it brings a grand neutrality in that central nervous system, depolarizing anything and just letting it all be as it is. Well, for me, the teapot toe stand thing only lasted for a little, but I like to do it as I can because it does stretch out those muscles in the toes and the feet. It's just very intense for me. And some people, it's like no big deal. That's what they do all the time. So that's okay. All right, we're going to be seated. And we're going to bring our toes and heels to touch the soles of our feet into the middle. We're just going to kind of see where we're at right now. And this might be a little too much for a beginning pose. So we're doing this kind of as a checkpoint just to see where we are now. And then we'll get into some poses. Sorry. Like an invisible thread of energy. Cool. And then we'll come back and we'll see where we are. And you can adjust. You can move your feet out and just feel, and then slowly bring them in until your body says, that's it. That's where we are. And gently flap those little butterfly wings, just very gently, and find some stillness. Okay. Great. And where you're comfortable without any major sensation, why don't we just do a little bit of soft circular movements to left and right, and then a little bit back, and then a little bit forward. And release this. Go ahead and just bring your feet out, shake it out a little bit, and come into more of an easy pose. If you'd like to have a blanket or a bolster underneath your sits bones, feel free. And now we're just going to do some full circles. Left and right, forward and backward. And going the other way. So this isn't the yin part yet. When we get to the yin, you'll know we have to hold it between 3 and 6 minutes on each side or as a pose. And we're not really warming up. We're not generating a lot of heat side to side, but we are beginning to open a little bit, opening up a little bit in the body. And then pick a side. I'm picking the left, and I'm just going to reach all the way over. I'm lowering my forearm down, but you can just do your hand if you'd like, and reach. And then bringing the opposite and reaching over the right. Wonderful. Okay. Now, we're going to open the right side up. You know what? We're going to do left. It's yin. Let's start left. And I don't know where I'm going to be. Okay. We're going to straighten out the left leg. Again, a block, bolster, or blanket can be placed under the sits bones if it brings the earth closer to you, so you can have more of a comfortable and safe stretch. And go ahead and flex your toes and reach your toes, your shin, above, below your knee. And we're going to reach. What I'd like to do, I'd like to start yin right here. Now, we need to remember that this motion of having your hand up is definitely going to create some warmth and does take quite a bit of effort to hold for that long. So I'm inviting us to have our arm up for a little. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Because we're really finding this huge expansion and extension in the upper right chest. You can even bring your elbow to the inside of the right thigh on top of, I'm using it on top of my foot as an anchor here. And then we're going to release all the way down. And because I really want to focus on this lateral opening here, I am going to invite us to be in that position that offers that opening. Right up, all the way through, from the lower, all the way up. One of the beauties of using blocks is it brings the earth up for our arms too. So you can have a block under each elbow or forearm, or even under the head, because you want to release here. Having sensation in yin is where we get all the good health benefits. Not pain, sensation. And I know I'm just adjusting. It happens pretty quick as we release. And for me, I have pretty tight hips, but flexible in other ways. And so as I release, I'm like, where'd the sensation go? So I have to find a deeper expression of it. And what I've done is I've just elevated my elbows to comfortably, without too much effort, grab the ball of my foot. And I can even interlace my fingers and just bring those toes closer to my face so that I really get a nice deep sensation in the back calf, back knee, and back of the upper leg. Oh, obviously the hamstring. I've got something going on in my eyeball. Okay. So just taking deep, gentle breaths. Feeling it along the back of the leg and the right side of the body, even where the hip is flexing in the left, possibly the lower left lumbar. There'll be sensations showing up. Right now I'm even feeling it in my right knee that's bent. Nothing painful, just I can feel that sensation of the experience. Now others may be using a rolled up blanket underneath the knee or like I said earlier, underneath the sacrum. And then as you are experiencing the time length of the asana, you can start to lower the roll, make it thinner, or you can remove it altogether. There is a deep opening happening here. It's activating our root chakra and Shavasana, our sacral chakra. So Muladhara and Shavasana are feeling the love. If you notice any thoughts coming up that's not aligned with your sankalpa, I definitely encourage you to follow those thoughts to find out where they live in your body. Not the story behind the thoughts, where they live. Once you find out where they live, then our quest begins to release those energetic blockages and to restore the flow. All right, go ahead and slowly move the blocks. Slowly come up. Woo! And while the rebound effect is taking place, just go ahead and lean over to the right a little. Relax that toe and just let the leg. I can feel like this gush of energy whoosh down and up, a very big surge, and along the lateral part of the body and the sacrum. Ooh, and then we're going to open up the other leg even more. Very nice. And now we're slowly going to move over to the other side. When yin does alternate sides, it's usually on the shorter time frame of around 3.5 minutes to hold, because you're holding it for each side. So that adds up to between, 6 or 7 minutes for the pose. Now, I'm kind of setting it up very similarly to how I had it for this other side, but I do encourage, if you had the blanket beneath your sacrum or underneath the knee or even underneath this bent knee up front, to continue to do so. Check in, get into the pose, feel it. By the way, this is, for yin, I'm not sure, but I know that it's it's wide-legged, one-leg side stretch. One-legged, wide-legged side stretch. I'll have to remember the Sanskrit. Brasarita's coming to mind. When you find the sensation, oh yeah, oh my goodness, open up that arm first. I'm like, because this for me initiates, like, where is it on this side? Where am I feeling this incredible opening in my back and along this left part of my rib cage, all the way up my armpit, shoulder, and then it wraps around to my tricep, elbow, and forearm, all the way out through the fingers. Deep breaths. And then as you find, like, ooh, yes, this is how. Oh, and we can even do elbow to the inner foot. Anchor, and open. And once you find where to position that torso, then we lower the arm. And we lower our anchor. And we begin to, for me, I have to rock my right shoulder down more and open up my left slightly. There's no tension here. It's a lot, there is a lot of space between my ear and shoulder. You can't tell when I'm doing this, but there is. Very mindful of lowering my shoulders. And I'm grabbing the sole of my foot and squeezing it for this very invigorating sensation. That's a nice word for it. It feels invigorating. And as long as you can find your spots with the lateral on the left and underneath your whole leg and foot, then wonderful. That's where we want to stay, and we can deepen as we go. Releasing the head. Come back to your breath. Where is the sensation? Has it traveled? Has it stayed the same? Has it changed? Let go. One more big round of breath here. Slowly start to release. Ooh, gently press up. Oh yeah. Lean to the left. Oh yeah. Feeling the surge, feeling the rebound effect, opening up the other leg. That appropriate stress on the joints is wonderful because we're cutting off that blood flow. And then when we release, it's like fresh, oxygenated love to your joints. Yes, that's it right there. Okay. Now we're going to do both feet forward. And we're going to come and compress over. And then we're going to do something a little bit different, that the last one-legged, wide-legged, seated fold, Paschimottanasana. Ooh, yes. There's more to it though. Has prepared us for. Now, this would be a really good one to use a blanket underneath your bum. Tush, sorry. Sits bones, sacrum. Deep breath in. You're going to reach all the way up. Also, underneath the legs, if you're not quite flat with the floor. You're doing like an extended mountain pose with the arms, right? And we are squeezing the shoulder blades, yet the shoulders are nice and far away from the ears. And with a straight spine, we're going to come forward. Now, that might be it right there. And when you find the spot, before you start to round, but while you can stay straight, and maybe you didn't move, and maybe you moved way further, hold it for a moment. Again, establishing some length and extension and feeling a lot of sensation in the entire upper thoracic torso. Before we round down, you can get your blocks out again if you'd like, where your forearms can meet. A nice forward fold. Elbows are by the calves, forearms are by the calves. You're squeezing, and you're squeezing either, the sole of the foot, the balls of the feet. You want this sensation in the entire under length of your legs, feeling the energy and releasing the head. There's a lot of compression in the stomach and all the organs right there, your spleen and your pancreas, gallbladder, your colons, and your, intestinal tract. Focus on huge belly breaths that are still gentle. It takes a lot of diaphragmatic control, and it's very healing for your organs. It stimulates a nice massage, and you can do it without generating a lot of heat in the body. What do you notice about the energy right now? Has it stayed the same? Has it changed? If so, how? Notice and let go. As you open and lengthen in the back, you can come up slightly, trying to keep the compression. Don't lose it, but just be able to fold and compress even more, which is what I just did. I still was able to keep the compression. We've got a lot in these front hip flexors and a lot in in the lower back. It's a very interesting and intense sensation. And definitely has changed throughout this time. 3 more rounds of deep, slow, gentle breathing. Good. Slowly release the hands and just gently walk up your legs so that your spine can unroll safely. And then bring your hands to each side in the back behind you and allow your heart to open. It was very open in the back and cocooned in the front. And now we're going to feel a lot of rebound effect happening in the upper chest. And as we continue, what we're going to do is we're going to come down into our spine with straight legs. Then you're going to feel slow, nice and slow, this rebound effect happen throughout the length of the entire spine. You have to straighten the legs for that. Oh, here you go again, like head's just cut off while the feet are just... I think I'd rather have you see my face than my feet, even though I love my feet. I'm just saying. And like, feel free to just laugh. Like when these rebound effects happen, we can be very serious. There's so much healing and reparation occurring, and all this new energy is just like, wow. For me, I just want to laugh and giggle. So I'm going to. Especially when it's the whole spine. Okay, moving on. This one is for those who are okay being vulnerable, being in a safe space. And if you desire to feel more vulnerable with yourself and with your environment, and I know for trauma-informed classes, we, wouldn't do these kind of poses, but that's why, and I know most of us have experienced trauma, and then we get to a point in our healing where we want to move forward and be more vulnerable. And that's why we're going to take this just to a very beautiful, deep love level as we bring our feet together, and you can copy what I'm doing. I'm very used to in person as I talk, especially with prenatal classes. And I've always wanted it to be that, where I'm talking and doing yoga and then people just follow along and then we all talk and listen and share, and it's fun. I'm gonna move these blocks a little bit. All right, so I was doing this a little bit before. So I'm going to, but how was I doing it? Yeah. So grab on the outsides of the shins, so you can open up as much as is comfortable in the hip flexors. And if you bring your feet more in, right, like in butterfly, you're going to feel a completely different sensation. And it's kind of like doing frog in the air. Okay, just imagine this is the floor right here, and we've got our legs open, and our ankles are in line with our knees. That way, when we apply pressure on the inside of our thighs or calves, then it is really fully stimulating the entire hip socket, right? On these places that are a little more nuanced and not really available when we have the soles of our feet together. Now, this is going to be one of those poses that will change. And what I would like from you, I kind of wanted to experiment, but I was literally doing this right before class. How was I doing this though? I feel like I had it lower and then I was moving it up, but maybe I just completely had it. Oh yeah. Okay. I remember now. Okay. So you're going with your elbows straight. That's going to be as low as we go, right? You can use a strap here if you'd like, just around your knees to give you a little more support, and you can be holding that if you feel the sensation with the strap. For me though, I'm as low as I can go, and the hips are mostly in line with my knees are mostly in line with the hips. Deep, slow breathing. And then as this pose unfolds, we're going to just very small, very micro movement like slide the knees up a little bit, because you'll feel as that happens. We won't start yet. It's just demonstrating. I don't even know if you could tell. That's how little, okay? That little moment. Ooh, that's when we really get into the other parts of the beautiful hip socket and joint and capsule that just really encapsulate. This is Svadhisthana. This is our second chakra, baby, our creative warehouse, our sensual, love, beautiful. It's very sensual, creative. I want to call it a love house. But for me, it is very much water. And my power animal that resides in Svadhisthana for me is dolphin. So it's very playful and very, very, very creative. Now, if it gets too intense where your knees are too wide and you have a strap, you can tighten it and close the knees a little more, or just, have this, bring them up a little bit. You don't want to miss out on the compression. You want to come out of that sensation or movement, stillness. But that is an option. Remember, it's sensation, not pain. Okay, slowly move up just a little bit and then hold. And so you'll notice too, that little movement adjusted the sacrum just so, where the curve in my spine changed just a little bit. And I had to move and adjust my shoulders, and that's okay. How does the energy feel? Can you see anything? Colors, symbols, energetic crystalline lines in the grid of life, the web? Or do you just feel the rise and the fall of your breath in your belly? Or all of it? All right, and one more time, we're just going to bring the knees up just a little bit more. Remember, your ankles are still aligned with underneath your knees. And we carry a lot in the hips. There's a lot of energy. So if any thoughts or feelings come up, follow to see where they live, and if they live in the hips, or if it's the hips opening that activates it, and you find that they live in the heart or in the head. And then you know their root, and that is the beginning of when you can begin to clear and release that energy, the blockages. All right, now we're going to slowly, just very slowly, bring the knees together. Very slowly. It's a very intense work right there. And you can hold the outsides of the shin by clasping or interlacing your fingers, clasping your hands, interlacing the fingers. You can just slightly shift side to side if you'd like to, and then squeeze your knees and your chest. Take a deep breath. Kind of release the tightness as you inhale, And then exhale, squeeze. And at the end of that, release the grip just a little bit. Deep breath in and let it go. One more time. You can do it in and out of the mouth, or in the nose, out of the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. All right, to release and to feel, go ahead and extend. And extend. Oh, so good. Arms up overhead. Very, very wonderful. And since we're here, I'd like to do something a little different and come onto our back, belly, just not our back. Okay. Now, we're going to do a little bit of one-legged bow pose, but not where we are really kicking and firing up the quads and like the glutes and really just like lots of heat, lots of action. We're going to use the strap, and if you don't have a strap, maybe a scarf, or sometimes I've heard people use a dog leash. But you want something where you can essentially, make a loop, a circle, because you want your foot to go in. And what we're going to do, oh wait, I already have it set up, I think. We're going to wrap it around and then bring it up in front so that we can use the strength in our upper arms to help lift the thigh, lengthening the psoas and bringing the toes closer to the head or the back. All right, so you're going to make it big. Put your foot in it somehow and have it over your shoulder. Okay? Just like that. Okay? And I'll make sure you can see what I'll be doing with my arms. Okay. Good. So, beginning the pose is just like this. Got your knees together. Your elbows are underneath the shoulders. You've got a very solid grip with the strap or makeshift strap that you're using. And you feel a sensation. I feel a lovely sensation in the quad. Nothing too crazy, but good. And in the knee. And then I'm going to kind of squeeze my glutes so that, and my kneecap on the left side, my toes are pointed, which you can't see, but they're going to be pointed over here. Tops of the foot engaged to the floor. Now, as we want to come more into this pose, we're going to lift the thigh. You can move your grip so that it is closer if you want. And what I would like to do is actually this. So now my head is more on the mat or low. It's not really on the mat, but it's lower. And I'm kind of using the strength in my grounded leg to help lift, and also the strength in my arms. And I'm going to hold here. My leg for this half bow pose isn't really kicking. It's just lifting. It's allowing it to be lifted. I wonder if that's coming through. Don't move your neck. Keep it neutral. And then as I want to have a deeper sensation, I'm kind of straightening or pulling more on, straightening my arms or pulling more on the strap. Strap is over my head, around the foot, and that leg is just being lifted. Okay, now we're slowly going to release that. Oh, yeah. Good. How was that? Was that like bizarre? I think that's pretty cool. Okay, and if you want, you can windshield wiper out that side. Okay, we're going to do it on the other side. So we are not obviously holding this for 3 minutes. And this is not like a traditional yin pose. But it is creating a beautiful effect with the lengthening of the psoas and having the compression in the knee and in the hip flexors and in the back. And for me, also in the elbows. So I feel like we're getting good stuff. 2 different worlds. Okay. So this one, I've got my leg grounded. Again, toes are pointed. And the beginning of the pose, the knees are together. You're going to activate the glutes a little bit. Activate the top of the foot, the kneecap. We're just finding our center. Once we find it, bring the strap over the head, lowering the head. My foot is not on the mat, so it's just squeaking on the floor. That's okay. Now, it is like your leg might want to come onto the side. Bring it back to the center. Always to the midline of the body. So, reaching the hands forward, allowing the leg to be lifted. Lengthening the psoas. Beautiful. Very good. You know, as this pose expresses, it's a little awkward. You might want to be lifted more or lower. And we will release that. And then lower that leg. Wowza. So good. It'll help in your asana dandasana when you do standing bow pose. But the beauty of it is the psoas just like going, yeah. It's a very deep muscle, so it's a lovely thing. All right, I'm going to stand up for a moment. Also not commenting yet, but I do need to stretch out the legs. I'm going to have a sip of water. And we're going to come back down. Do a time check. Okay, good. This is good. All right. The blocks. Let's do left side first. Or you can just be straight up and down. It's a good balancer. When we tone the vagus nerve, we stimulate all the plexuses along the body. It runs alongside the peripheral nervous system. And then the plexuses run alongside the chakras. So a lot of wonderful things are happening here, giving us information about our environment, simultaneously reducing our cortisol levels, allowing us to breathe a little easier, and to have a little more trust. It's a very trusting pose. And for me, I'm going to actually open a little bit more and have this one knee come out a little bit. Just a smidge, just to help. And as you open, maybe you find a little bit more by bringing your elbows to the blocks. Release the head. Wonderful. Slowly press up wherever you are. And it's up to you how you want to get out of this. Let me just think about the cues here. Shift the weight over to that left side so you can easily kind of walk that right foot up. Yeah, that works. All right. Yeah, actually, let's really enjoy that. Maybe we windshield wiper a little. That feels nice. It is very cooling to breathe out of the mouth, and it is very cooling to breathe in and out of the mouth. So if you feel like you are producing too much heat, or you're just like, whoa, use the breath out of the mouth. However you had it set up on the left side, go ahead and do it for the right. Great. You can rest your head in your hands if you don't want to totally come forward. It's kind of nice. Just don't smash your jaw. Still keep some space in between your teeth, the tongue at the roof of your mouth. you everyone have done an amazing job today. It takes a lot to hold poses and tune in to the breath, to the body, and to the energy that's flowing through. So congrats. What you do is not for the faint of heart. It is for, I don't really know if I like that expression either, because I know a lot of people, anyways, it is for people who are strong-willed and who can keep their focus and their intention and attention aligned. All right. We're going to slowly release, so come back up, shifting over into the right side so that there's no pressure going on as you're trying to get yourself back together here. Oh yeah, I might just like do that for a second. Just curious what was going on here. Oh, so I don't know why I started a, it's okay. just join them back together. Maybe windshield wiper if that feels good, like we did on the other side. And then we're going to, if you want, take one more sip of water and we're going to lay down for Shavasana. Wonderful job. Okay. Just make sure, I could just like do something like that weird. Yeah. Whatever. It's cool. So as I lay on my back, my knees are bent and I'm just slowly rocking them side to side. Oh, we were gonna check for butterfly. I always want to call it mariposa asana because in Spanish butterfly is mariposa. Come back into butterfly before we come back onto our back and bring the soles of the feet together. And feel the difference where you started in class with your practice. Yeah, I can feel a huge difference. I don't know if, noticeably or visibly there will be one, but wow. I can feel a difference. Again, it's like, I don't know where to put this. Okay. Onto the back with the knees bent. We did a lot with the lumbar spine and the sacrum. So I really can feel, and even the lateral stretches that we did in the beginning, a very big opening. When I'm rocking, I can feel, wow, this whole side's like, thank you. Very important to hydrate. Get a lot of rest. Like I said earlier, do not follow this up with a cardio. Go to sleep or wait several hours. And thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I just hear, I don't know if it's picked up, but just this constant back and forth upstairs, the little ones. It's so sweet. Returning the breath, normal. And letting go of the practice. And for future processing, if you want to journal about maybe what thoughts or chakras or body centers were activated or intrigued, or anything that you experienced, write about it and follow the energy lines. You might find something very old and dusty and rusty in the back of your conscious, subconscious recesses of the mind, needing to be pulled out, dusted off, and either thrown in the garbage or put to good use. It is very good to acknowledge our ever-growing nature. Feel free to have one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Just thanking your body for being exactly as it is right now in this moment, and thanking our body for our ever-changing nature. I definitely encourage you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you can. I usually stay in about 15 minutes. It's a very nice restorative pose. And when you hold it for 15 minutes, it really is restorative. And it really does turn down, shut off the sympathetic nervous system. And it really truly awakens the parasympathetic nervous system. And so I definitely always encourage a 15-minute Shavasana in classes and live places. That is what we do. And for now, I will hold the space for you and come back into it after I turn this off. I love sharing practice with you, and I love even more weaving shamanic techniques with yoga as these earth-based sciences meet modern, beautiful living and deep, ancient spiritual roots. Come back to your intention, come back to your sankalpa. Go full circle. Feel it in your body and release. Thank you so much. The light in me, the light in you, we are the same. We are one with divinity, and divinity is one with each of us. Have a beautiful evening or a relaxing day. Namaste.